In lesson 9.4, we're going to talk about solving quadratic equations by completing the square. To complete the square, you have previously solved equations by taking the square root of each side. This method worked only because the expression on the left-hand side was a perfect square. In perfect square trinomials, remember trinomial three terms, in which a leading coefficient is 1, there is a relationship between the coefficient of the x term and the constant term. So 10 and 25, there's a relationship there between that. Notice that 10 divided by 2, so the middle term 10, if we divide it by 2 and then square that number, we get 25. To get that constant term, divide the coefficient, which I just said that's called completing the square. So basically completing the square, you want to take the b term, you want to cut it in half, you want to square it, and then that will give us our c term. So if you want to think of a formula like that, b divided by 2, quantity squared will give us our c, because we want to be able to complete the square. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Solve x squared minus 6x plus 12 equal to 19 by completing the square. So basically what we want to do here is we need to be able to solve this, and the only way to do that is by completing the square. So the first thing I got to do is I got to remove the 12 because I need to make a perfect trinomial. So I need an x squared minus 6x. That 12 is not perfect, is not a relationship with the 12. I can't think of numbers that will give me 12 and 6. So I got to get rid of that 12, and then I get x squared minus 6x plus our c, there's that c we're going to look for, equals, and then 7. So then kind of like off to the side, this is kind of like my head thinking, scrap work, paperwork, calculator work, whatever. It's not really part of my problem, I'm thinking it. So what I'm doing is I want to take the b term, I want to divide it by 2, and then square it, and that's going to give me my c. Alright, so what is the b term? The b term is negative 6. I want to divide it by 2, and then I want to square it. That will give me my c. So negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. Negative 3 squared is 9. So c is equal to 9. So now what I want to do is this was c, which is kind of missing. So I want to replace the c with 9. But this is an equation, which means it has to balance. So I just replaced c with 9. I have to balance it, I have to add 9, because I basically added 9 here. I need to add 9 to the other side. So now what I have is x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 16. Now what I can do is I can factor x squared minus 6x plus 9. So I know, because the coefficient is 1 here, I know it's going to factor into x times x. If I think about the FOIL method, x times x is x squared. Now I just have to figure out the two terms. Well, guess what? If you go back to what you were just thinking here, negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. There you go. So minus 3, minus 3. They both go there. So that middle term, that b, if I want to extend my thinking a little bit more here, so that way you understand it. When I did this, I got negative 3 squared equals c. This right here is your factor, that minus 3. So x minus 3, because that's my perfect square. And then technically what you could do is you would rewrite this not as x minus 3, because it's the same thing. How I really would want to write this then is x minus 3 quantity squared, so make sure you write it as x minus 3 quantity squared equals 16. How do we undo a square? We square root it. So now when we square root this, we get x minus 3 is equal to, what's the square root of 16? Well, it's 4. Yes and no, because 4 times 4 is 16, but isn't also negative 4 times negative 4 equal to 16? Yes. We have to make sure that we show both the positive and negative roots of 16, because we can still get a positive. Then what we do to finish this is we have an equation here. X minus 3 could equal positive 4. So x minus 3 could equal positive 4. Or x minus 3 could equal negative 4. So I want to show both solutions for this. So then I would solve, add 3, I get x equals 7. Add 3, but this time I get x equals negative 1 because negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. So now I have x equals 7 and x equals negative 1. And then you can substitute them back in to check it. And let's just check it just to be sure. So I'm just going to use my calculator here. So let's clear this second mode. And then it was x squared, so let's use 7 first. So I'm going to take 7, I'm going to square it. So it was x squared minus 6x. So minus 6 times 7, and then it was plus 12. And if I add all that stuff together, I should get 19, and I do. And then I want to do that again, we said for negative 1, because again, you're going to find, I think right now you're going to be fine, they should all work, but there are cases where one will work and one won't, so you really only have one solution. So then type in negative 1 quantity, whoops, too many parentheses, quantity squared, okay, try this again here, squared, minus 6 times negative 1 plus 12, and I should get 19, and I do, so I'm good to go. So always check to be sure, because not both answers are always going to work all of the time. All right, completing the square. So here, before we even get started, I notice again, so this is coming back, I notice that negative 2, 8, and 18, negative 18 are all divisible by negative 2. I want to get rid of that negative. All right, so I'm going to factor out a negative 2. So then I'm left with x squared minus 4x plus 9, and that's all equal to 0. Now, because this doesn't have an x with the negative 2, I'm going to divide everything by negative 2 before I get started, just because I want to get rid of it. And then I get x squared minus 4x, because they will cancel, plus 9 equals 0. Now we need to complete the square, which means, again, I can't find factors of 9 because the only factors of 9 are 1 and 9, 3 and 3. They don't equal 4. So let's get rid of that 9 by subtracting it. And then I get x squared minus 4x. I'm going to leave, remember this right here is our blank, that's going to be our c, equals negative 9. So then I come back over here and I ask myself, maybe scrap paper, whatever, I don't care. And I take b over 2 and then square it. So my b is negative 4, cut it in half, square it. So I want to take negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. I want to square it. Remember, this is my c, my c, my c. So I get 4 is equal to c. But remember then, this is going to come into play here in a second. But 4 is my c. So I come back over here to this box or whatever, however you want. You don't have to put a box there. I do just because it reminds me. I want to add 4. But remember, it's an equation. It has to balance. So if I add 4, I need to add 4 to this side. So my new equation then would be x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals negative 5. And then now what I can do is I can factor. Remember, this is my perfect factor, negative 2. So this factors into x minus 2 quantity squared. So it's x minus 2, that's my only factor. So x minus 2 quantity squared equals negative 5. And then now we want to square root it. So we square root it, and then we get x minus 2, because the square root and the square undo each other. And then we have the square root of negative 5. If you try to take the square root of negative 5, or any negative number for that matter, so the square root of negative 5, and you hit enter, you will get an error. There is a non-real answer. Again, this is for another unit, another chapter, more so in Algebra 2, but what we find out is that you cannot take the square root of a negative number, thus saying that we have it told us in our calculator, no real whoops, I can't spell, no real solutions. So no real solutions for that problem. And then the last one, the senior class at Bay High School buys jerseys to wear to the football games. The cost of the jerseys can be modeled. There's the equation, where C is the amount it costs to buy X jerseys. How many jerseys can they purchase for $430? So the 430 is our cost C. So I like to rewrite this 1x squared plus 2.4x plus 25 equals 430. So what I would like to do is factor out that 0.1, 0.1, so then I get x squared, and then I have to factor out, so 2.4 divided by 0.01, or no, 0.1, sorry, 2.4 divided by 0.1, I get plus 24x plus 25 divided by 0.1, and I get 250. That's all equal to 430. I want to divide, see, I'm just using my algebra skills here, solving equations. I want to divide both sides by 0.1, so get rid of that. So now I have x squared plus 24x plus 250 equals, and then 430 divided by 0.1, 4,300. Now, if you want, we could go into y equals, let's get out of that first, second mode, go to y equals and clear what we have in the y equals. Then it was 250 divided by x, and then that gives us, if we go to the second table, that will give us all of our factors. I'm going to see if I can get factors of 250 that give me positive 24. And I'm probably going to want to look at bigger numbers here. 4, 5, and 50, no. 25 and 10, no. I'm not really seeing, that's about it. I'm not really seeing all 10 and 25 again, so I kind of reverse the rules, and I'm not going to be able to get that 24. So I know it's not a perfect square, so I come back here. I subtract 250, whoops, I subtract 250. I get x squared plus 24x, and then remember, I want to leave this blank, put a box here just so I remember, and that's going to equal 4,300 minus 250. That's going to be 4,050. All right, so then what I want to do is I got to find that perfect square. So again, I take my negative b over 2a, or sorry, my negative b, I'm thinking of the axis symmetry, my b divided by 2, sorry, b divided by 2, quantity squared. So my b is 24, I want to divide it by 2, then square it. b is 12 squared, I get 144 for my c. So these are all equal to c. So then I come over here and I say, all right, plus 144, but I got to add 144 to this side because I got to balance it. So now this factors into x plus 12. Now it's plus this time because look at the number inside the parentheses, it's a positive 12. So x plus 12 quantity squared equals 4,050 plus 144, and that's 4,194. Take the square root of both sides, and I get x plus 12 equals, and then second square root, 4,194. And I get roughly, since we're talking about jerseys, we can say roughly 64.76. So because I got this decimal, I don't really want to go there yet because I still have to subtract this 12. So let's save the rounding for the very, very, very end So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to round yet. I noticed that the square root of 4,194 is not a perfect square. So I'm going to leave it alone, and I'm just going to leave it as the square root of 4,194, but remember it could be plus or a minus of that answer. So then I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. So then I get x equals the plus, I could do the positive square root of 4,194 minus 12. I'm going to be careful with this minus 12, making sure that it's outside of the square root. And then I also have the minus as well. So I can do x equals plus or minus the square root of 4,194 minus 12. So then be careful, like I said, when you type this into the calculator. So I just go to my calculator now, and I say, okay, and I type in, since the positive root, I'm going to say the square root of 4,194. I want to make sure I arrow out of the square root minus 12. See, make sure that there's no square root over the minus 12. And then hit enter, and I get 52.76. So I get x is approximately, let's say 52.76, and then x is approximately, and now let's do the minus square root. So come back to your calculator, and then do negative second square root 4,194. Make sure you're out of the square root, minus 12, and then you get negative 76.76, so approximately negative 76.76. But if we go back to our original question, the question stated, how many jerseys can they purchase for $430? So I have two possible answers. One of these answers, the negative, we can rule out because you can't have negative jerseys. Now with the 52.76, we have to decide, do I round up or do I round down? In this case, we want to say 52 jerseys, because we don't, the 0.76, if we round it up to 53, we're not going to have enough money. We're actually going to go over. So we can buy 52 jerseys with that amount of money.